Today's episode of Crime Crazy is brought to you by Audible. Now, fans of Crime Crazy Podcast can get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/crimecrazy. They have over 180,000 titles to choose from, and you can listen on your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, or your MP3 player. www.audibletrial.com/crimecrazy.
Welcome to Crime Crazy, the weekly true crime podcast with Aaron Plime and...
Hello. Wait, what? Welcome to... Oh, God, I forgot.
Your almost 2-year-old daughter knows the name of our podcast.
Oh my God, it's so cute.
We had a recorder saying that.
We really do, but we banished her instead.
We did. Oops, love you, bye.
Get out. We told my husband, we don't want to send you away. We just want to send the 2-year-old away.
But it's kind of rude to just send a child away, and I think it's kind of illegal.
Illegal.
But,
I was going to go with that. Dangerous.
Well, rude is, I think, the first thing. Well, when you're almost 2, we told you to get out.
Right. Welcome to Crime Crazy, the weekly true crime podcast with Aaron Plime
and Jordan Middleton,
where we prove that
we know nothing about our legal system,
but we're still crazy for a good true crime story.
Dun, dun, dun. Shh. We did it.
Woo! Okay. So, hey, Jordan, how are you?
I am good. I feel like I haven't seen you in about 10 years.
I agree, and I feel like our respective trips definitely lasted about 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
Even though they were good, it was like,
oh my God,
this is never going to end.
I know, but it's like time's flying by when you're on vacation, so I feel like time speeds up because it doesn't really want you to be on vacation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even when you're a kid, if you go away, it goes by so much faster, but then if you're just like sitting at home, it's like
it's
kind
slow.
of...
So the first 3 days of our trip were very slow, and it was maybe even just the first 2 days. I was like, okay, so it's like Thursday already. We're about to go home, and then it was not. It was like Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
But then after that, it just was all of a sudden over. It was crazy. Of course, that's about the time everybody got a stomach virus and started puking.
Ugh,
so
when you told me that, I was like, oh my God. I said, that's worse than a regular bug. That's a vacation bug.
Yeah, it was a vacation bug.
That's horrible.
It went around mostly the little kids. So it was the 2-year-old, the 2-year-old,
well, they're
and the 4-year-old.
Germiest.
They are definitely the germiest.
Poor kids.
Yeah.
But they're all better now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think Toby's still really tired.
Yeah.
But.
I saw him yesterday.
Yeah?
Yep. I hit his cart with my cart at Walmart. And he said, why'd you do that? And I said, well, I was trying to hit you. And he just looked at me.
He's like, well, that's
like,
a bitch move.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just kidding. Come here. Give me a hug. And then he called me Emily. And I was like, I said, how dare you? But I told him I made cupcakes. Well, I was making cupcakes. And then I'd bring him a treat. And instead of saying anything, he looked at me and just started licking his lips.
That's creepy.
And I was like, okay, I gotta go. Talk to you later.
Creepy child.
But I will bring cupcakes over for tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Unless we record at your house. Then you and I get to eat all the cupcakes.
I actually don't want any of them because I don't really like this type of cake.
What is it?
Just chocolate.
Oh.
I don't really like cake. So when I like it, it's like, I like lemon. But
okay.
It was fun making them. They're very pretty. I kind of want to brag about them. So.
Yeah.
I just be like,
well, there you go.
Oh,
you just bragged about them to literally tens of people.
Good. Okay, I'm excited to tell you these stories because you actually gave me inspiration for both of mine.
Oh, I'm excited.
So Aaron gave me 2 challenges last night because we did get another one.
We did get another one.
But it's impossible.
Yeah, because there are no smart criminals in Florida.
No.
Sorry, Brian.
No. That's why I looked at it. I was like, I don't think that's a thing.
Nope. He says rare animal. I'm going with extinct.
Yeah, right.
But I will look into it.
Yeah.
Just to see.
I'll try it.
But really, smart criminal in general, like, I feel like if it's a smart criminal, you're not going to know anything about him.
Well, yeah, because they won't be caught.
Right.
Yeah, that was my point. But I feel like there are smart criminals to an extent. I've been watching the new season of Criminal Minds on Netflix.
Yeah, but that's different. Those are fictional criminals.
I know, but I feel like they're out there. They just haven't been caught, or the public doesn't know about them.
Well, right. But then how would we talk about them?
Well, we can't. That's why it's like a rare animal.
Yeah.
Like a unicorn.
Like a unicorn.
Yep.
non-existent.
Exactly. Just kidding. But you gave me one that the animal was the weapon.
Yes.
And a Harry Potter related crime.
Yes.
And I have one for each.
I loved the snap that you sent me. That was the you scrolling
through.
Yeah.
It's Harry Potter and Criminal Minds fanfic. And I was like, this has got to be good.
Right? I feel like I shouldn't read it today because I'm hooked up to a heart monitor for 24 hours. And you have to
They'll
write
be like,
down.
What was this heart rate? And you're like, well, let me tell you something.
Fanfic.
They'd be like, I got it.
Okay, yeah. Actually, they'd probably look at me like I was insane because I'm fairly certain that my doctor reads neither Harry Potter nor watches Criminal Minds.
Well, then maybe they'll start if you tell them about the fanfic.
Ooh, I'm going to guess that fanfic never convinced anyone to read anything.
They're like, I'm going to avoid that like the plague.
Right. This is what they do in that children's book? What?
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. How can it be? Everyone in Harry Potter's a child.
And the time zone, or not time zone, but you know what I mean? Like, that took place, like, Harry Potter was, what, early like 90s? And now, you know, like, Criminal Minds would either have to be really old.
Right.
Or really young.
Like that seems to me to be less of a problem than the fact that I don't think that Harry and Hermione and Colin Creevey should be mixed up in the Criminal Minds crowd.
Right.
Although I guess they went through some pretty serious
Unless
shit.
they called the Criminal Minds crowd to come in and solve a Muggle murder. I don't know. I'm trying here. I'm going to have to read it and find out, apparently.
Reed would be very comfortable in that world because technology wouldn't work. Because technology doesn't work around magic, so it would be... Yep. He'd be very happy there because it would have to all be analog.
That's true.
But he also would be very frustrated because no amount of brains is going to get him to do magic if he's a Muggle.
Poor
Maybe
Reed.
some of the Criminal Minds cast are not Muggles, and we just don't know.
I'm betting Prentice.
Prentice?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. All right, I'm so excited about your crime.
Okay. So my first one was, so the incidents kind of happened in October 2012. Oh, yeah, mine are not old. I actually kind of picked, like, you'll see my little theme. It's like 2012 and 13 for this story, and then the next one's 2011, so I kind of kept it close.
Very nice. I mean, a Harry Potter theme would have to be relatively new, right? It couldn't be 100 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So this one is about the animal that was a weapon.
Ooh.
Which, I'll have you know, I read a lot of sad things, and I was like, I have to find one that is not going to make me so upset that I can't read it. And a lot of them were dogs, and I'm also reading, like, A Dog's Purpose, that book.
Yeah, I don't know why you're reading that.
It's such a good dog lover book, though.
Is it?
And I like looking, I'm like, that explains Julius, that's Frankie.
Aww.
But it, like, makes you love your dogs.
What is it called?
A Dog's Purpose?
A Dog's Purpose. Let's see if we can get that on Audible.
Probably. It's a
Dog's Purpose.
I am almost positive that the author's name is like W. Bruce Cameron.
That's it exactly.
Dang! Look at me going. Hey.
So yeah, Dog's Purpose is on Audible, and then there's A Dog's Journey, and then they have Molly's story and Bailey's story and Ellie's story and Working Dog Heroes.
Okay, so Bailey and Ellie are both names of that he had through his lives. So it's like he goes through different dogs' lives. Aww. And then when he passes away, he comes back as a new puppy, and he has to figure out the purpose of that life. Aww. So it's really freaking sweet, and it's like a good cry book. So if you want to like cleanse emotionally, that's a good book.
That's a good one. And if you want to do it for free, you could go to www.audibletrial.com/crimecrazy, and you could download a free audiobook and do an Audible trial.
And then you wouldn't even have to cry on your pages. Someone could just tell you, and then you could just cry wherever.
I will say from experience, don't do it on a plane.
Oh, that's awkward.
You get really strange looks when you're sitting on a plane and all of a sudden you just start bawling to something no one can hear.
Because I read the first like 5 chapters on the way to Miami, and I was like, okay, I can't read this anymore. It wasn't even like sad tears. I was like laughing and crying, and Mike's looking at me like, what the hell? I switched books. But anywho, I couldn't I couldn't do any of the animal weapons because a lot of them were like they trained their dogs to attack police officers or I couldn't do that.
That's horrible. That's horrible. It's so mean.
Yep, and I'm like, the poor dog doesn't know that. Believe me, I'm reading all about it. They don't know that.
They don't know what they're doing.
So this one is it's still sad, but it didn't make me cry reading it. So I that's why I chose this one. So October 2012 was where the first incident happened. It happened in Springfield, Massachusetts. So
Illinois.
Nope. Our bad guy, he was 34 years old. His name is, well, I guess it still is. He's still alive, I guess. Keith Parro. And the victim was his, now ex-girlfriend, then girlfriend.
now ex-human.
Nobody died in my story.
Oh.
So I'll say that. So, this is what he pleaded to, and I'll tell you all the dirty details. He pleaded guilty to 3 counts of assault and battery, 2 counts of assault and battery with a deadly weapon, and 2 counts, oh my God, that'd be horrible, of malicious destruction of property over $250.
Camel.
Also, 1 count of animal cruelty. That's the sad part, guys.
But it was just a gecko.
You wish.
It was a blue crab.
Ew. That'd be a bad weapon. Like, because once they pinched once, but then that'd be it. You can't, like, re-pinch you.
Yeah, they have 2 pinchers.
I know, but it's like, what if they just grab you and then never let you go?
Blue crabs
as she's pinching scary. At me. Yes, Erin has a crab fear.
They're spiders with pinchers and shells.
So it's kind of like a spider and a scorpion.
Yeah, and they can jump like 8 inches.
Ew.
They just jump.
Ew. All right.
Like bunny rabbits with pinchers.
That sounds disgusting.
When they're out of the water.
I hope that caught. Okay, so.
All right. What animal? I'm ready.
October 2012. I was trying to make a dream sequence. The couple got into a heated argument, and I guess after she thought they were done, she decided she was going to go get in the hot tub because she just wanted to like soak and chill out.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's a good idea.
Yep. Calm down, cool off, except not.
Mm-hmm. Keith went inside. Well, no, it was kind of cool. Massachusetts, October, that could be really cold.
Yeah, but in a hot tub, she's going to be warm.
Well, I mean, your face is cold.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, Keith went inside and grabbed a 4-foot python.
A 4-foot python?
Yeah.
That does not sound so intimidating. I'm not afraid of snakes.
I am. So 4 foot?
Yeah, but
that freaks me out.
4-foot python is what, like 1.5 inches in diameter? It's not very big.
But still, it's a snake. That's
and
enough for me. So, but this is sad.
You. Oh no!
Because that's our weapon.
What is he gonna do with a 4-foot python? Beat her?
Oh, you shouldn't have said that because that's what exactly he did.
No!
He pretty much used it like a whip or a bat, however you want to say that, knowing that she was terrified of the snake anyways. So when he brought it out, she was like, what are you doing? Like, go away. I'm trapped in the hot tub. But before he started beating her, he took the extra step to take, like, the temporary stairs to get into the hot tub, you know, like, because it's, like, raised high. So usually you make, like, little shitty stairs to get in there or something like that. And literally threw it at her. Then, which I was like, why would... So he is literally nuts, obviously. Took the python and just started beating her with it. When he was done beating her, he just threw the snake in the hot tub.
And boiled it.
So, yeah, they're not sure if I named the snake Snakey. I put the title to the story. This is not funny.
It's not funny. It
says Snakey didn't do it.
Oh, my God.
Because he didn't want to do it.
No.
So, they don't know if he died from being a weapon and getting whipped around and smacked and everything, or if he boiled and couldn't get out of the hot tub.
Oh my gosh.
So, they couldn't obviously determine that, but all she did was, she got bruising on her neck and her shoulders. She had some type of wound to her knee, I guess, from the stairs she was like, I guess, trying to get out of the hot tub, and he chucked it at her. And
right.
So she was battered up, but she wasn't.
It's not even an effective
hurting.
wedding.
Wedding. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. There's too much pressure on this not editing this podcast.
It's okay.
It's not even an effective weapon.
No.
He
was just
soft.
mad.
Yeah, but it's like taking off your shirt and beating someone with it. Like, you're just going to damage.
I mean, yeah, all she had was bruising, which I don't know. I just feel so bad.
She had bruising.
Yeah.
Snakes, I mean, they're muscular, but they're not hard.
Yeah. That's why, if it was like a bigger python, and you know how fat they get,
yeah,
but then he wouldn't be strong enough to swing it.
Right.
So I was like, that's so sad. But they made it a point to say in court that he is that crazy that he literally went inside to go get the snake to come back out to do. He could have just picked up anything and hit
stairs.
her. No, he wanted the snake for a reason because he knew that she was like terrified of it.
Yeah, but after 2 or 3 hits, I don't think you'd be terrified of the snake anymore. It would be...
I think I would probably just be in shock. I'll be like, what the hell is he doing hitting me with a fucking snake? But on top of that, I think your mind's everywhere, and he was crazy. So, but she's crazy too, because even after this happened, I guess they stayed together.
Why?
I don't know why. Because then that was just the first incident. 2 more incidents happened in February, March of 2013.
With a snake?
No, with her being there with him. If my boyfriend beat me with a snake.
Or anything.
But more importantly, I really love animals. So a snake?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know I would be able to stay.
Right.
Like, oh no, it's not like, oh, well, we had like a little hiccup or we had like a fight.
Right.
Or, you know. So
I spent the night on the couch.
No, he beat me with a snake and threw some stairs at me.
And the snake died.
But we had a really good Thanksgiving and a really good Christmas.
But he bought me flowers.
New Year's was great. And then it was like he took the time off for the holidays. So November, December, January, he took that time off. And February, March, he started up again. So I was so mad. Whatever. So he is clearly crazy, but so is she. That was my little point. The assistant. All right, hold on. That was a long name. I would hate this name for my business card. I'd run out of room. Assistant district attorney. Oh, his name isn't that long. Max Bennett told the judge that the house was completely trashed. That when they went and saw, everything was tore up from damage to the doors and windows and furniture, and they found a laptop in pieces. So that's what they kind of used against him. He's literally psycho, and he has rage issues.
Lost his temper. Yeah, lost his mind.
Because if you're gonna trash your own house, oh my God, you live there. Appreciate it a little bit. So then February 2013, he threw the girlfriend into a wall. And she stuck it out for 1 more month, and then he actually hit her and did more damage to the house and items and such.
And then she left him.
I hope so. There was never a clear thing. Well, first off, the excuse was, he's bipolar and he has PTSD from physical abuse by his father when he was a young boy.
Okay.
But
That's
he
sad.
happened to be off of his medicine the times he did all of these things. And they were pretty much no.
Right.
No, don't be crazy. You literally went inside to grab a snake to come back out to beat. So that's when they were like, no, you thought about that. You wanted to get a living thing to hit her with.
You were looking not only for her worst fear, but also to do damage to innocent things.
And the thing is, if she was so scared of it, that was his snake. That's your pet.
Yeah.
I could never, I can't pick up Frankie and wheel him around anyways, but I could never do that, you know?
Right.
That's my pet. I don't.
Right. He must have liked it. He bought it. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
And they're not cheap to keep.
And if you buy it, do you buy it already 4 feet long?
You could.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but he may have had it since it was little. It just depends.
That's why I was like, dang, not to save money, but,
Yeah.
Pick up a rake. I'm not condoning anything, I promise.
Break.
Yeah. And,
no.
And then I was mad that you just, threw it in the tub afterwards,
Well, it must have been dead at that point.
That's what they were like. Either way, it died from him doing that or him leaving it in the tub and it couldn't get out and pretty much boiled it. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, they can't regulate their own body heat, so...
Yeah. So, it's just
My sister had a bunch of snakes. You remember all her snakes?
Yes.
And
believe me, I
she
remember.
had that power surge, and it fried a bunch of her snakes. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But she was not home, and the power surged, and then all the heaters like turned up, and she got home, and
Yep.
that's not a pleasant thing.
Mm-mm.
Plus, the hot tub has a dead snake in it.
Yeah. Ew.
Yeah, I don't.
But either way, she stayed with him up until I'm hoping that last one, 3 times you're out, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. But either way, he was sentenced to 8 months in like a correctional facility. And then after he got out, he was to do, 2 years probation. During the probation time, he must see a mental health care. I don't know how you want to word that. So it didn't say like a psychiatrist or psychologist or who, or,
Right.
But mental health treatment and counseling. He had to stay drug and alcohol free. He also had to attend a batterers program.
Okay.
So I was thinking it's like AA for like
abusive spouses or whatever.
And then the last thing was, and you can't abuse the victim anymore.
Yep. That actually didn't need to be said.
Yeah, I didn't even write it down. I was so mad that they said that. I was like, what? Well, no shit. Ugh.
I mean, I guess that maybe it was just in writing so that if he even like, I don't know, smacked her on the butt or something, then they could just throw him in jail.
Probably. Just have that little backup.
Right. Put it in there so that.
That.
Because if I smacked you across the face right now,
I'm
not going to jail. I'm not going to smack you across the face. I've never hit anyone.
I had one girl smack me across the face for absolutely no reason one time.
I had a girl I didn't know come up to me and say, "Stand up so I can punch you." And I was like, why would I do that? But regardless, even if we had if they had called the cops, you wouldn't go to jail for slapping someone.
Well, you could though.
Well, but I don't think you
Domestic
would.
abuse, they have to take someone in. That happened to my friend.
Really?
Yep. Her and her stepmom got into it. And because the police were called, they had to arrest. So she had to go. And she could counter charge, I guess, like, whatever that's called. But, they had to.
But she's not going to be sentenced to 2 years
Oh, no.
in
She
jail
still had to I think it was like, she had to go until she could bail herself out.
Right. Like, if it was a condition of her probation to not
do
slap
it,
somebody, then they could send her.
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
sure that was the only reason they put that in there.
Well, yeah, and because there were 3 counts in a few months' time.
That's ridiculous.
And the whole house was trashed to the point where everyone was like, he has problems.
Yeah.
So, I think that was what it was, really.
Wow.
Yep, so that was my snaky didn't do it.
That was not what I was expecting when I suggested animal as a weapon.
Yeah.
I was thinking like letting a black widow loose in somebody's bedroom or
well, there
training
was like
a dog to bite them or
Yeah, there was a dog one. I just was like, oh, that's sad. And there was another one, a dog one that they did like in World War II where they would kind of make them suicide doggies.
Yeah, that's awful.
I couldn't do that one either. A lot of them are dogs. There's one spider one, and one other snake one, but it was like out of like movies. So I was like, I don't know how real that is.
Right.
But
and we are a true crime podcast.
That is true.
Okay. Well, mine does not involve any animals at all.
That's probably good.
Unless you just want to say that the killer, because there is a murder in mine, was the animal. We could go that way. But it's not 4-legged or 0-legged or 6-legged or 8-legged.
0-legged.
Right.
Belly-legged.
Belly-legged.
That's what snakes are.
Belly-legged. Have you seen, there was a video, this video bothered me a whole lot, but it was cool, and it was an albino, it must have been like a Burmese python, and it was on a couch with a little girl, and she's watching TV, and then it yawns, and it's not safe, and it's not okay. I understand how they felt like that was no big deal, because I'm sure it was a pet, and they had it out all the time.
Yeah.
And it does look really badass.
Yeah.
But the snake could have killed her, even if it had no intention of eating her.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it was a neat little video. Okay. So mine is murder at the BB B&B.
BB B&B. So it's a bed and breakfast. BB big butt bed and breakfast.
No. The first one's a color.
Brown, black. Oh, I was about to say something bad. Okay, just tell me. Never mind.
Okay. So this is the story of Julie Bullard and Selby Bullard. Not Shelby. There's no H.
Selby.
Yeah. So Julie was 62 in 2003, I think is when this occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And her daughter, Selby, was 27. And they were living in San Francisco. And daughter's married and has 2 little kids, a 9-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son. And actually, I think the son's name may have been Matthew, but I didn't write them down. They really weren't in the story at all. I don't know
Not relevant.
where they were. Right. So her husband gets killed. Selby's husband gets killed in a car accident.
Aww.
Yeah. So mom and daughter and grandchildren pick up and they move from San Francisco all the way to Maine. And
what a weird change.
Isn't that insane? Like everything. The climate is different. The
everything
seasons are different. The
different.
people are different. The coasts are different. The oceans are different. Anyway, everything. But if you have a big tragedy and you want to start over,
you go somewhere completely different.
It's completely different. Plus, Julie had this dream of opening a bed and breakfast, which is exactly what she did when she got there. She bought
the mom.
Farmhouse, the mom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Bought a farmhouse and named it the Black Bear Inn. So in Newry, Maine, which is this little tiny town, middle of nowhere. It was like a 1930s farmhouse, I think. Oh. Really cute.
Haunted.
Probably haunted.
Oh, yeah.
They redid it. They made it really nice. It was, it was a bed and breakfast, but in the story, like as I was reading about this, it seems like they took in a lot of long-term tenants because, so they moved in. Selby goes on to sell eyeglasses. She does nails for people. She spends a couple years working through and she gets her realtor's license and goes into business with her friend Cynthia Beatson. And lost my train of thought there. Let's try that again. All right, so she goes into business with Cynthia Beatson or works at like where she works. It's like Apple Tree Realty or something like that. Anyway, so the spring of 2006, Julie, so the grandma, the older one, decides that she's ready to move on to her next adventure. Oh. She's done the B&B thing for 3 years, and I don't know if it didn't suit her.
I was going to say 3 years is not a long time for your lifelong dream.
Right. But she wants to go do something else.
Okay.
So they put it up for sale. Mm-hmm. But a couple of months later, they take in a new tenant anyway because they haven't gotten any. I mean, it's a little place, so it's not like the offers are going to be pouring in. So they take in a new tenant named Christian Nielsen. He's 28. He's quiet. He's soft-spoken. He has moved into the bed and breakfast to stay there until he saves enough money to buy his own place. He's a cook at another inn in the area. So like 3 or 4 minutes away is where he works. And they say he's a super reliable employee. He's a completely competent cook. He's a little bit weird, like
socially?
Socially, yeah. Okay. A couple people said he probably had Asperger's or something. Okay. He was just a little bit off. But he, other than that, like, great guy. Whatever. So about a month after that, they take in another tenant, and his name is James Whitehurst. And he's in town on personal business, but no one ever knows what that is. Like, he's not there for work, but he stays for a month.
Oh, wow. So not vacation.
Not vacation, and he's not there with his family, and he doesn't ever really talk about it. He's a handyman who lives in Arkansas.
Oh.
So, I don't know. Maybe they were going through a separation or, like, he was looking for a new opportunity. I don't know what the deal was. Yeah. He was just sort of this weird enigma. So, on a Sunday night in 2006, Nielsen goes to work. The first tenant goes to work. He works the dinner shift at the inn, which is just a couple miles away. He's scheduled to come back next Tuesday, but he never does.
Uh-oh.
Because Monday, the police get a short, frantic phone call from his stepmom. She and her husband had gotten a call from Nielsen, and he said he was now running the Black Bear Inn while the owner was away.
Oh, no.
And they were really suspicious because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And so they only lived like 15 miles away. So they came over, and when they got there and they were looking for him, they found blood outside, and they followed a blood trail into the backyard.
Dang, ballsy people.
What's that? Yeah.
I would never do that. If I saw blood, oh my God, one, I'd throw up. I'm really bad with blood.
Right.
But I would never follow it.
Right. I don't know. Maybe it was like, are you okay? Is someone hurt? Like, because he had called them. So maybe they were worried about him. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess if I thought it was like my kid.
Right.
Maybe I would go.
So they find the body of a woman.
Oh, no.
Cut in half.
Jeez.
So here's what happened.
If he cooked her, I swear to God.
He didn't cook her.
Oh, okay. Anything else is...
Her.
Oh.
All right, so...
God damn it.
Friday, he had a shift.
Is that a pun? Friday?
Haha, no.
Just kidding.
Friday, he'd had a shift, and I think before his shift, he had been in Upton, which is about 25 miles away-ish. I actually don't know how far it was, like, from one to the other, because I just sort of Googled, like, Upton and Newry and how far. So it was up to 25 miles away.
Okay.
And he was in the woods, for some reason, with Whitehurst, the other tenant, even though they didn't know each other. I don't know if he, like, kidnapped him or if he was like, hey, dude, my car broke down. Can you come get me? I don't know how he got the other guy
alone
25 miles away alone in the woods. But either way, he shot him and killed him and dismembered his body and tried to burn him in the woods. Then he went to work.
Like nothing had happened.
Like nothing had happened. He came home. Sunday before his shift, he kills Julie, who is the one who runs the bed and breakfast. And then Monday, Selby calls Julie and can't get a hold of her. Well, Julie has like asthma or some sort of respiratory thing where she'll like cough and cough and cough. And so Selby is worried that Julie is having some sort of an attack and she can't answer the phone. She always answers the phone. So she decides to drive out there, and she's with her coworker and friend Cynthia, so they both just drive out there. So he kills them.
All of them?
All of them.
He's
so 4
fast.
people. So he also kills and dismembers 3 dogs.
Oh, no.
And I couldn't tell if they were pet dogs on the property or if it said they also found 3 dead dismembered dogs on the property.
He probably practiced on dogs. Because they always say you start with animals.
Yeah.
Sad.
He used a chainsaw, a hacksaw, and an axe to cut all the bodies up. So, of course, they arrest him because he's actually there. Like, when his stepmom and his dad arrive, and then they call the cops, and the cops arrive, and they find the bodies, like, he's still there. He never left. Because he was running the bed and breakfast. I don't know who he was running it for since he killed everybody. Person, but he's running the bed and breakfast. So they arrest him immediately.
Obviously.
And they start looking for a motive for why he would do this. His lawyers say, oh, well, he's insane. You can't even try him because he's not competent to stand trial. So they have him evaluated by a bunch of psychiatrists. They all agree he's totally competent to stand trial. He does have schizoid personality disorder and Asperger's. And so he has a really hard time getting people to understand what he's thinking and feeling, like emoting. But none of that would affect his understanding of what he did.
Yeah.
Or his understanding of, like, helping himself in a court case. So the judge rules that he's competent to stand trial, and they try him. So the prosecution, the most of a motive they can come up with after talking to him, because he really refused to talk about it very much, was that he'd been thinking about killing someone for some time. So he just sort of had that in the back of his mind as something he may want to do someday. Like, I might want to travel abroad, and he might want to dismember his roommate.
Yeah.
And
hand in hand right there.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Ugh. Also, he wanted to take over the lodge, over the bed and breakfast. He was like, this would be a great job. Maybe if I just
kill the owners.
Kill the owner, and then nobody will even notice in this small town.
Yeah. Okay.
And he did say that he found Whitehurst objectionable, but he didn't elaborate on it at all. He's like, I just don't really like him. So
if I could kill everybody I didn't really like.
Right?
Jeez.
That lady at Walmart, no.
Oh.
So they tried him, determined that he understood what he had done, and they sentenced him to life. And needless to say, he did not continue to run the bed and breakfast.
Apparently not. What an idiot.
Right? And weird.
Yeah.
And weird. I'm glad that they did all of the psych eval and everything, and I have a feeling that his mental illness probably did play some role in his decision to just kill everybody.
But I don't think that he didn't know the difference between right and wrong.
Right.
Like, I think he just didn't want to know the difference.
Well, and he killed someone and then went to work and then killed someone and then went to work, and the people at work had no clue.
Yeah. Nothing
was different. He still did his job.
That says a lot about a person.
Right? And so it's not... He's crazy.
I was going to make a really bad joke. Just ask me later. I can't say it.
Maybe I'll get her to put it on Twitter.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So, that is my
That's crazy.
BB B&B story.
BB B&B.
They had to have called it that, don't you think? Like when she's writing it on a calendar or a check or something.
4 Bs, the quadruple B.
Yeah. B.
So, I named this one. Oh, this is my Harry Potter one.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Sorry, I'm excited. So, I named this one Crabby Pants.
Oh, yay.
Can you guess who it's on? So, this was in 2011. This was a shorter one because...
There's not a lot of information. It's very straightforward.
Yeah.
I know this
That's
story.
how they are, but, you know. Yeah. So, I figured you would because... Erin is Harry Potter, so
nice. I'm excited.
She's like, please. So Jamie Waylett, aka Vincent Crabbe, he was the bully that always kind of followed Malfoy. If you don't know,
he was the shorter of the two henchmen.
Yes, and then at the last movie? All of a sudden he's black.
Yeah, because they replaced him with Blaze Zambini.
Yeah,
but yeah, it looks like they just were like, oh no, we'll just cast this tall, skinny black kid instead of.
That's why everyone was kind of like, wait, what happened? But and up until I actually read this, I thought it was just because he had a marijuana possession.
Oh, no.
And I thought it was just that. I didn't realize there was actually more. I had
heard,
but a different
drugs.
Yeah.
Like when the movie came out, that's what I heard was, he couldn't be in it because of drugs. But no.
It's something totally different.
Yeah.
So, he was actually sentenced to 2 years in prison. Yeah. Do you know how prison is over in England?
I don't know.
But I feel like 2 years because, there's difference between, like, a correctional facility and jail and, like county jail here especially is like nothing. And then prison, I feel like that's such a scarier word.
It is a scarier word, but unless you're going to a high security prison, I feel like there's a lot more freedom in prison. Because jails tend to be more short term, and so it's like this holding place. So you're stuck in
prison,
a room.
Prison,
you're living there for a while. So you can go outside and you can... So I thought that was really interesting. Like prison actually
isn't that
better.
Bad. The word is just scary,
but it does mean you'll never vote again, and you'll never run for office, and you're unemployable, and
that's crazy. So, he ended up getting 2 years in prison for being a part of a violent mob during the riots in London, the summer of 2011.
Yeah.
So it was like the little gang he was a part of was like a 4-person gang, which I was like, I guess it's like. Anything over 3 people is a gang. I don't know. I don't know how they got that, but I was like, all right, whatever. But it took the court 3.5 hours to reach a verdict on him.
Wow.
So I was like, I feel like that's a lot for like a little, like, you were rioting, you were causing problems with this little gang or 3 other people. I feel like that's a long time. I feel like that'd be like a in and out type of case.
Right.
But 3.5 hours, that's a long time. So the actor, he already admitted that he stole a bottle of champagne and was drinking from it. And it was all during the riot. So, was that looting?
Yeah.
So, whatever. He already did that. He already admitted.
It becomes much more than stealing a bottle of champagne and taking a sip.
When there's a riot going on and you're doing it because you can get away with it during the riot, that's not okay. So, he admitted to that.
It's not okay anyway.
Well, yeah, but that's like... It's like... I feel like that's like, you don't have the balls to do it when there's not a huge distraction and everyone else is doing it. Right. Well, I'm not saying I'm egging you on to do it.
You're just adding more chaos to a dangerous situation. And
that's why I was like, Mm-hmm. But he was cleared, which I didn't. This is the line that I got scared. He was cleared of intending to destroy or damage property with a petrol bomb.
Yes.
Because he was pictured holding it.
Yeah.
All right. This is what bothered me. If you're going to have a bomb, or someone is, because he probably didn't make it.
Right.
Why are you going to take a picture with it?
Was it basically like a Molotov cocktail?
Pretty much. I mean, but
it was just something to ignite and something to be ignited, and so
who has time to take pictures during a riot?
And if you are someone who's relatively famous, I mean, before the last Harry Potter movie came out, I would say he counts as relatively famous, recognizable by a huge chunk of the population.
Oh yeah.
How about not put yourself in a situation where you can be photographed doing a crime?
Yeah, and so luckily on his part, they cleared that part off, thinking that he wasn't going to do it, you know.
Right.
But still, it's like I can't say much because people take pictures with guns all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Like good people and bad people, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can kill somebody with that. But I feel like a bomb, I don't know, I guess in my head, because of where we are, is scarier than seeing some profile picture of some guy holding a dead deer and a gun. You know what I mean?
Well, because I don't think that there's a lot of purpose for a bomb other than to hurt or harm other people. I mean, a gun, you could make the argument, I hate guns, but you could make the argument that it's for protection or it's for hunting or it's, you know, just a collectible piece.
Like, what if he was holding dynamite? And he could have been like, I have a mining project.
Right.
I'm taking down a building. And
right.
Like, I don't know. But still, I was just like, dang, why'd you take a picture? You're stupid. That's like you don't wear your first favorite shirt to a B&E. Like, there's just some rules to this, guys.
Oh, but that's funny.
That was my little Harry Potter themed story.
I actually looked up that story when I was looking up that would have been the one that I didn't do.
Oh my god.
I know.
We almost did the same one.
That's funny.
But anywho, I don't even know what I was saying.
I don't remember.
Oh, Mike has a story for me for next week's episode. So hopefully that works out.
I bet it will not be the same ones that I'm doing. I already have mine all written down. Like I did them yesterday.
I'm so proud of you.
And one of them is inspired by my little sister, Morgan.
Yeah.
Because it's a crime that she told me about.
Oh, yeah.
It took place at a place that she and a friend stayed when they went on vacation.
Ew.
And so it's kind of similar to the one from today, but like a totally different story.
Okay.
And the other one, I was like, well, now I have to find something where no one dies. And I found a fantastic story.
Yeah, these are my two stories where no one dies, but like all my other stories are someone always dies.
Yeah.
I always have a hard time. Like if I do the one that Mike was telling about this morning, a lot of people die.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So if I can find enough information about it, I'll do that one.
Well, yeah, mine next time isn't all that gory, but one of the crimes is kind of funny. It's cute. You guys should definitely listen because it's cute.
Yep. And that'll be our episode 20.
I know.
Okay. I won't get too excited yet.
We should think of something fun or exciting to do on episode 20. Even though it's like the next
I don't know why
episode.
I was like party hats. I'm like no one can see my party hats.
They could hear. Nope.
They could hear. I could snap the ow. No, never mind. I was to say I could snap the elastic so you can hear it. But that hurts.
Yeah, that hurts.
I make my dogs wear party hats.
Yes, you do.
But
it's
they're
adorable.
Cute. I like it.
It's super
kinda.
cute. All right. So, do we have some shout outs for today?
My shout out is for you. Thanks for giving me that challenge because it made my research a breeze because I didn't have to think about like, well, what kind of crime do I want to do? And, you know, I just was like, so when you texted me, I was like, oh, thank God, she gave me 2 so I could try to make these work.
Do 2. I was just like, well, do this or do this.
I know. But it was good because it went so, like, I finished writing and researching before my cup of coffee was over. Mm-hmm. It was great.
Excellent.
I know. I loved it.
I did mine last night, and I finished my cover letter last night, which I have to rewrite today, but that's okay. At least I finished a draft. So I have a shout out to Nerds with Words is another podcast, which is an awesome podcast, by the way. I am going to leave a review. I just haven't gotten there yet, but I'm working on it. And they left us a review on iTunes that was very nice. And that is actually my only shout out, but I did want to because I felt like I needed to do a follow-up. I finished The Raven Cycle, all 4 books.
Yeah.
That I had talked about, like, that I was listening to on Audible.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The way it ended, oh, I loved it. It was so fantastic. The way the characters came together and the predictions from the beginning of the book and the foreshadowing and everything else, it was beautiful. So if you're looking for something to listen to or to read, Raven Cycle was awesome. Even though it has nothing to do with true crime.
Well, neither does Dog's Purpose.
No, that's true. But they could get it for free on Audible.
That's true.
audibletrial.com/crimecrazy. And that's it. That's it for me.
I was just checking, and I think that was it. I don't have any shout-outs from Facebook or anything. We already did those ones.
Yeah.
Which just means, guys, that we need you guys to rate and comment and review and all the things on all of the pages.
Yes. We've had a little bit more activity in our Facebook group. I like that people are talking to each other and to us. Like, that's neat. Like, that's a cool community. So
I like that.
All right, so we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter and Instagram at CrimeCrazyPod. Gmail is CrimeCrazyPodcast at Gmail. Our website is CrimeCrazyPodcast.com.
And this way, really, because we always like challenges, because then after a while, I kind of got sick of always talking about murder. You know what I mean? But like that, it's the majority of the crimes.
And it's the majority of the crimes that are really sensational. Like, nobody really cares if you walk into a store and walk out with a TV. Like, that's not an interesting thing to report on.
Some people who steal stuff, they're clever.
Well, that's true.
But still, no, I know what you mean, though. That's why I liked when you said this, and I was like, all right. And then I realized both my stories, nobody died. And I was like, this is great. Sometimes I need this. But
it's refreshing for not everyone to die.
Even if you just give us, like, a semi-challenge. We did really well on our first listeners challenge, and he thought so himself.
I think we're going to have to find a not too dumb Florida criminal to report on. I don't think we can leave a challenge unanswered, even if it's impossible.
It's going to be like, no, not even that. And I watch a lot of Live PD, and they're in one part, it's like the panhandle of Florida, like one county there. No, nothing is ever good there.
No.
Every crime there. No.
Do we know anyone in Florida?
Oh, I know plenty of people in Florida.
So we could have them commit a crime, and then we could report on it.
Yeah, but as soon as you do the crime, that takes away your smartness.
It's true. It's true.
So this is like a catch-22.
Well, what about, like when we did B.D. Cooper? He was a smart criminal.
B.D. or D.B.?
D.B.
Did you say B.D.?
I did. I am really having a hard time with his name.
No, that's right. There was a show about him on the other day. And it was just like, wait, is it DB? No, I'm going to say it backwards. Yeah. DB Cooper. And then it was like, question mark, ... Like, it was really, it was just like, no, he's not dead. Or something stupid like that. And I was like, okay, guys. But anyway.
So yeah, he was a smart criminal. Apparently the Parkway killer was reasonably smart. He still hasn't been caught for that crime.
Don't remind me.
There's also no update on...
I know, I've been checking.
I have too. So the skeletal remains.
But now, because it takes, 6 to 8 weeks to get the...
we're just in waiting.
But I am also waiting 6 to 8 weeks for my own DNA. So now...
to find out if she's been murdered.
Right?
Or if she murdered anyone.
Oh my God. What?
I'm getting my 23andMe thing.
Yeah, I did the health and ancestry.
Oh, cool.
So... it's going to be like, you don't like running. I'll be like, true. That's one of the things, though. I feel like you're a long runner or a sprinter. Uh-huh. And they're going to be like, no, girl, you're neither. I'll be like, I hear you. I feel you. Just kidding. Okay. You know what? Right. We will be back. And
before you know it, with episode 20.
I know. That's so cool. I don't know. We'll have to think of something clever and then announce it next episode.
That's right. We have a week.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, then, until next time, don't do anything to get yourself on our show unless you're really clever and you're going to do it in Florida.
And we're not going to be able to find you, and you're not going to go to jail for it.
But you could just email us.
Oh, my God. No. We're telling people to do a crime.
Oh.
Oh, my God. Don't, guys. Stay inside. Lock your doors. Hide your children. Hide your wife.
Hide your snakes, hide your hot tubs.
Hide your stairs, more importantly, I think. Oh my God. Do not end up on next week's episode.
No, not even in a clever way.
No.
Not even Ocean's 11.
No. Don't do it.
You could do that. That would be kind of cool.
Do not do it.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Crime Crazy. We hope that you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed making it. If you like our show, please tell a friend, or better yet, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes or your favorite podcasting app. We really appreciate your feedback and want to give you a shout out on the next episode if you leave us a review. If you leave us a review somewhere other than iTunes, just let us know. If you loved our show, consider donating to our Patreon. We have lots of great surprises that we want to share with anyone who supports us. And let's be real, it's really just an excuse to send you cool stuff. Thanks again, and remember, even though we really have no idea what we're talking about, we'll be back next week to talk about it all over again.